Are we recording? Yes, we are. I'll play too much.
I'm just a nobody trying to tell everybody about somebody who can save anybody.
Hey Blossoms, welcome back to Where It's Living In, where it's all about encouraging, loving, and evolving. It's your girl Leela, and today I'm here today to share with you all my story and my testimony. Growing up, I've always just had so much love in my heart, so much empathy for people going through so much. I've always been a person to love, to listen to people and counsel wherever I was needed, help wherever I was needed, and be a person to encourage whoever was needed. I want everyone to understand something. You never know what someone's story is until they decide to share it. You never know what someone could be holding in until they decide to release it. Understand that the very person that is speaking to you or encouraging you, they had to learn, most times. Now, some people, God uses it and they just know a way with words to be able to bless you in a way that you need in that time being without experiencing much. But a lot of times when a person can encourage you, when a person knows how to uplift you and you feel like it is something you needed and God is using them in that moment for you, a lot of times it comes from a place of experience. It comes from a place where they've been and they was able to overcome it. They was able to be made new from it. You know what I'm saying? They was able to be strengthened and can now be in a place to encourage you, can now be in a place to uplift you. Growing up, I've always told anyone, and most people that I've had deep personal conversations with can testify to, I've always said, everything happens for a reason, and I've always said, no weapon formed against you shall be able to prosper. And the times that I've said those things, you know, even at a young age, when people think that, oh, I'm just saying this because I'm a church girl and I've been in church and my mama kept me in the church and we've been in the word and this and this and that more. Yes, that can all be so very much so true because that was instilled in me. And it does say in the word, train up a child in the way they should go. But you have to, but for me, see, that could be what you received out of it, right? But for me, when I say what I say at a very young age with the understanding of what I'm saying, I knew what I was saying when I said it. And I wasn't saying what I was saying just to say it. See, sometimes people just say stuff just to say it, and then sometimes people say something because they know what they're saying. That all comes along with, you know, you having to have under a knowing of who you are, right? You have to have a understanding of who you are and who God has created you to be. See, God had me a long, long time ago. From a very, very, very young age. He's been with me since that time and more. Even when I mess up, even when I fail, God has had me from a very young age until now. And I pray forevermore, you know. So what I'm about to share with you all is not something to take lightly, but it's something that I want you to understand that I am who I am today because of who God has called me to be. And do I wish that this was to have happened to me? Of course not. No one will wish this to be their testimony, but nevertheless, it still is my testimony. It still is my story. You know, a lot of times no one wishes to go through anything, right? No one wishes to go through anything. No, they don't want to go through nothing, right? No one wants to go through anything at all. But sometimes what we go through, what we endure, is how we are built and who God is shaping us to be. Not everything you go through is for you. Sometimes because that's how God works. He's not a selfish God. It's not always about you. Sometimes what God has for you to go through and gonna get you through is so that you can share with someone else. So that you can be a vessel for someone else who may not have the strength on their own to get through it like you got through it on your own. You see what I'm saying? They may not have the strength to just lean and depend on God. And God knows that. And He sees that. So if you have to be encouraged by your sister or by your brother, He will allow that to happen. You see what I'm saying? See, I may not have had, or I'm not gonna say may not have had, but the way things went for me is how they were meant to go for me. You know, I did not depend on anyone. I did not seek help from anyone. I did not speak about this to anyone. So it wasn't like I was quietly crying for help. I wasn't quietly crying for help. I wasn't seeking anything. And that's not always the route for everyone, but that's the route I was on. And my path is not the same as everyone else's path. You see what I'm saying? But because of who my mom is, because of my family and how they were a village, right? I knew that if I couldn't tell my mama, if I didn't tell my family, it was instilled to me to talk to the Lord God, up above. You see what I'm saying? At a very young age. If I knew it wasn't something I wanted to tell my mom. And yes, it could have been out of fear, because that's how the enemy works, and that's some of the things, the enemy would like to speak. Whether that is coming from a person or coming from a thought, a lot of the times the enemy would like to trick you. Don't say this because you don't want to hurt your family. Don't say that. You don't want to. This is the way the enemy likes to work, okay? This is the way people like to disguise their dirt. You see what I'm saying? So I wanted to make sure I said that, because who you see today, baby, it's been a long time coming. And I'm not gonna cry, but as y'all know, listen, if y'all been a part of this ride, this roller coaster, baby, I am an emotional person. But these tears I cry, if I cry, y'all hear my voice cracking. These tears I cry today, baby, it ain't nothing but tears of joy. It ain't nothing but tears of joy, peace, and restoration. Who I am today compares to nothing with who I was in my past, okay? So, with that being said, my story, my testimony. As a young girl, I was molested by my father. What? Yes, me. Sweet old Leela was always smiling. Yes, as a young girl, I was molested by my father, and um, it was something that I said I was taken to the grave. It was something that I said I would never share with anyone, let alone be recording a video to post it for the world to see. Never would have imagined that. Um, yes, I was young. And yes, I have been through some things. And yes, God has had me through it all. I know some people, some close to me, that have been through some things. And they don't know that I've been through the very same thing, because it wasn't something I ever expected to share with anyone. So today is the day that I decide to share with you all, because I know that, one, we are overcomers by the words, by the blood of the Lamb and the words of our testimony. Two, this words to live again is not something I take lightly. It's not something that I'm doing just for fun. And that's why I say what I say when I say it. I done been through some things. And I'm deciding now to take what I've been through and turning it around for my good. That's what God does. That's what Words to Live Again is for me. For me, Words to Live Again is not something. Sorry, y'all. For me, Words to Live Again is not something I take lightly. Words to Live Again is not a fantasy or a dream or something I've ever just wanted to have so badly. Baby, this is not something I take lightly, because Words to Live Again, I'm telling you now, is what God has done for me in my life. Do you hear me? Like, Words to Live Again is a prime example of God turning what the enemy has done around for your good. That's what Words to Live Again is for me. So when I say this is a platform for you to share your testimony, for you to share your story, for someone to be encouraged, for someone to not feel alone and feel loved, someone to evolve, baby, every word I say is something I mean. I'm sharing this with you all now so that you understand. You're not alone. God got you. When I say God got you, let me tell you what I mean by God got you. When I was young, going through what I went through, there was times when I told this man, my father, when I told him, I said, I remember a time when I told him, I said, do you don't believe in Jesus? I said, you don't believe in Jesus? I said, because this isn't right. Y'all, I couldn't have been no more at this age. I couldn't have been no more than 3 or 4. Honestly, I don't know how old I was. I was young. I may have been in, at this particular conversation I'm talking about, I may have been like in kindergarten. I might have been in kindergarten at this age, yeah. And I said, Daddy, I said, you don't believe in Jesus? I said, you don't believe in God? Because this isn't right. Like, you got to believe in Jesus so he can save you. Now, mind you, I'm a little girl. I'm young. But I share that with you all to know, baby, God has had me through it all. God has truly had me through it all. One moment. Can't nobody tell me what my God cannot do, because who you see today is an example of what he can do. And I just pray that by me sharing this part of my life with you all will encourage you all to truly give God a chance. Give God a chance. And if you have given up on who he is, baby, give him another chance. Give him another chance. Harden not your heart. Because when I say, can't no man, and I want to make sure I say it again, when I say man, I'm not talking about a man, a male figure. I'm not talking about just a male. I'm talking about a man as in a human being. I'm talking about can't nobody save me like God has saved me truly. Growing up, I've always said, no weapon formed against me shall be able to prosper. It's something I got on my Leatherman jacket. See, whole time, I know what I was carrying. I knew what I was carrying. I knew why I was saying the things that I said. I didn't say it because it sounded good. I said it because I done lived it. And yeah, I may be 23 years old. But a lot of times people say I'm well above my age. I'm childish. I'm not going to say childish. I have youth to me still. I love playing. I love laughing. I love enjoying life. But when the push comes to shove and I have to have a conversation with somebody that's going through something, I don't mind having a conversation. And a lot of people thought, man, that sound good. Like, wow. Well, it sounds good because it's real. It's not words I'm putting together to make it sound like something. No, this is real. A lot of the encouraging, a lot of the motivating, a lot of the just all around counsel that I may do, maybe you don't even know that every word I said is something I meant and it's something that is true. I'm not going to just say something to anybody just to say it because it sounds good. No. I'm going to say it because it's real and it's true. So, baby, when I tell y'all, y'all better get on, hop on this ride, because this is finna be a journey. This is finna be something like eyes have not seen and ears have not heard. I am excited for what God is doing. Yes, that's a part of my story. That's a part of my testimony. That's just a small bit of my life, of something that I have gone through in my life. So I don't get on here to seek attention, to seek a pity party, to seek any type of tears of sorrow. Baby, if you gonna cry with me, baby, let it be tears of joy. Be encouraged by this. Be encouraged that if I am nobody special on my own. I'm special because God has made me that way, okay? But on my own, I am nobody. I'm nobody. So if I can get through it, you can get through it too. If I can get through it, you can get through it too. Did this happen overnight? No, it did not. No, it did not. Again, I'm 23 years old. The story I just shared with you, I was in first grade, in kindergarten. You know, the story I just shared with you, I was in kindergarten. So I don't know how old you gotta be, like 4 or 5, like however old that is. But I remember it. You see what I'm saying? Everything that I went through, I remember it. Again, I'm sharing this story with you so that you know, baby, God, when you don't even think He got you, He got you. When you don't even understand what's happening, He got you. I've said that to plenty of people, and that's why I say it. That's why I say what I say. Your story may not be my story. Your testimony may not be my testimony. The trials and tribulations that you have to face and that you had to endure may not be the same thing I had to go through. But guess what? The same way He brought me out, He can bring you out. The same way He healed me, He can heal you. I love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for being a part of this journey with me. A part of this never imagined, never dreamed of, never thought I was capable of doing journey with me. Truly, I am grateful and I am thankful to all of you who have been a part of this with me every step of the way. I am grateful for you all, for the counsel, for the encouragement, for the love, for the care, for just being a listening ear, being a help. I am truly and forever grateful. I really, truly am. And with that being said, thank you all for tuning in to Words to Live Again.
I'm just a nobody, trying to tell everybody about somebody who can say